What's up, interview hackers? Sam here from bytebybyte.com, and in this video, I want to share with you 3 mindsets that you're going to have to change to become a true interview hacker and to really be able to be successful in your coding interviews and get those results that you're really looking for. And so that's what I want to do in this video. I'm going to give you these 3 different mindsets. And the first mindset that you need to be aware of and that you need to start to change if you really want to be successful is to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And so what does this mean? Most of the time, we tend to have fixed mindsets about things. We tend to think about things as being like, this is the way it is, and there's nothing that I can do to change it. You know, I'm a certain way, I'm good at this thing, I'm bad at this thing, and that's just the way it is. So if you've ever said to yourself, for example, I'm just not good at interviewing, that's a fixed mindset, right? You're not accepting or you're not acknowledging that there is actually something under your control and it's actually like within your power to change that and to improve. And so what I want you to think about is, how can you shift from that fixed mindset to a growth mindset? How can you look ahead to the future and say, I may not be good at this thing now, but I can grow and improve and change and get better as time goes on, right? This is how interviewing works, because you're not born being great at interviewing. It's like you weren't born being able knowing how to code, right? And yet somehow we assume that, well, I should just be great at interviewing, and that's absolutely not the case. And so by shifting from this fixed mindset to a growth mindset, what you're allowing yourself to do is you're actually allowing yourself to say, okay, I'm gonna put in the work. I'm gonna do the effort because I know that if I do that, I am going to change, I am going to get better. Another example of this might be, we all know that networking events can be valuable, right? It's a great chance to meet people. It's a great chance to get yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit. It could potentially land you a job offer. And if you go and say, well, I'm just not a social person, or I'm just not good at meeting people, you are living in that fixed mindset. All you have to do is shift from saying, I'm not good at this, to I haven't learned how to do this, or I'm not good at this yet. And what that allows you to do, again, is it allows you to move into this growth mindset where you can say, okay, I'm actually not good at this thing right now. That's okay, but I'm going to learn how to do this because I see the value and I see the benefit in me putting in the work. And I know that if I put in the work, it's going to allow me to be successful. So growth mindset number 1, or mindset number 1 that you need to start applying to your life, is a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Now, the second thing that I see a lot of people do is that they focus on blaming other circumstances and blaming others rather than taking ownership. And this is a very common, like a stoic idea, where rather than focusing on the things that are completely out of your control, focus on the things that you actually can control. Focus on the things that you can take ownership of. Because as long as you focus on blaming other people and blaming other circumstances for anything in your life, it's not productive. And that's not to say that there aren't things in your life that are outside of your control. Of course there are, right? There is absolutely no way that there are things that are in your life that are not at least somewhat out of your control. But it's about what you choose to do about that and how you choose to view it, rather than like just allowing yourself to wallow in it and allowing yourself to pass the blame on to someone else. And so in the context of interviewing here, let's say you went into an interview and you didn't do well. There are 2 different approaches you can take. First, you could blame your interviewer. You could blame the interview prep that you did. You could blame the people who gave you the advice. You could blame, but is that going to change anything? Absolutely not. It's not going to change anything. And what that's going to do is you're going to keep going along this path of saying, well, it was someone else's fault. There was nothing I can do about it anyway. And so you're never going to change, and you're going to get stuck in that fixed mindset. Whereas if you take ownership and you say, oh, well, obviously circumstances didn't go my way, but there are these things that I could have done differently. There's these things that I can do to improve. I take ownership over growing and improving at this skill. That's going to allow you to continue this path. It's going to allow you to continue this journey and make a difference. And it's also just going to make you happier. Because the easiest way to get to be miserable in your life is to focus on stressing about things that you have no control over. Because that just creates anxiety, that just creates stress, because it's not like you can do anything to affect it. It's a matter of focusing on the things that you can control and growing within your realm of control, rather than trying to focus on blaming and passing the buck off to others. So we have fixed mindset versus growth mindset. We have blame versus ownership. And now the last thing, which is a little bit different, but I want you to think about, is how can I stop saying that I'm busy all the time? And this is a funny one because a lot of times, think about your interview prep, for example. Like, why, if you are still waiting to start your interview prep, if you're still saying like, I'm really busy and I just don't have time to do this, or I don't have time to figure this out, you are creating this self-fulfilling prophecy. Because the fact of the matter is that if you have time to watch TV in the day, you're not too busy. If you have time to go on social media, you're not too busy. If you have time to go to the gym, maybe you don't want to sacrifice going to the gym, but if interviewing was important enough to you, you would sacrifice going to the gym so that you could prepare for your interviews. My point is that everyone watching this, probably there is at least one of those things where you can say to yourself, hey, this was not as important to me as getting a great job is. And so if you keep saying, I'm busy or I don't have time, you are creating this self-fulfilling prophecy where you are now a person that is busy. You start to believe the things that you were saying to yourself. And so rather than finding that time, rather than saying, okay, well, I'm going to, not do this other thing and I'm going to find the time in my day to do my interview prep, you are just going to continue to be busy. You're going to continue to be stressed and you're going to continue to just delay and procrastinate on the things that you really want to do. And so by shifting from saying I'm busy all the time to maybe even just saying like I'm going to find the time, or just not saying that you're busy, can make a huge difference. And I highly encourage you, as a great exercise for this, is to do a time audit. And what this means is get a spreadsheet, get a piece of paper, and every 30 minutes just write down what you did for the last 30 minutes. And do it for 7 days. It takes a bit of work, it takes a bit of time, but what it's going to show you is at the end of those 7 days, you can look back and you can see exactly how you spent your time for those last 7 days, and you can say, okay, well, maybe there's a possibility that you are just the most laser-focused person in the world and you just literally are too busy. But more likely, you're going to find those time wasters, you're going to find those things you can go through and say, is this thing more important than my interviews? Is it picking my kids up from school? Yes, probably that's more important than my interviews. Is it going to my job and making an income? Yes, that's probably more important than interviewing. But if it's watching TV, that's probably not. Playing video games? Probably not. Going on social media? Probably not. Laying in bed on my phone, this is what I do all the time. I lay in bed before going to sleep on my phone for 30 minutes going on Reddit, and it's like, if I were to just go to bed 30 minutes earlier, I could wake up 30 minutes earlier and study in the morning, or I could go to bed 30 minutes later. And so by shifting your mindset on this, you can find time, even if you feel like you're really busy, chances are there's room in your schedule where you can start to make a difference. You can start to make that change in your life that you're really wanting. And so that's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you head over to bytebybyte.com/50questions. You can download our free coding interview question guide where I give you video solutions to the top 50 most common coding interview questions that you will likely see in your interviews. And I appreciate you joining me today, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.